have an opportunity this coming week, that's what I'm saying. And that's all you can ask. Have an opportunity.
And I'm looking around here at some of the scores as well. And, man, East Rutherford's just struggling, aren't they? But Chase bounced back. And had a big game. I mean,
and it is tough. It's tough on some schools. East Gaston, they've not been great lately. East Rutherford, to me, I have a hard time really understanding them because I think they got athletes over there.
Well, see, that's
but maybe you just don't.
I guess what I mean by when they look
know.
like they're struggling is I remember it was either last year or the year before they had a team where even though they got beat, they still would put up 35, 40 points.
Would.
The defense just wasn't there, but I don't know that quarterback that they had last year, maybe he graduated or so, or he transferred maybe to go somewhere to. I mean, it's nicely. Sometimes they want to go and win some games. Yeah. It's just it's tough to go from a team that's putting up consistently 20 to 35 points.
It's obviously not as popular as Cleveland County, so you've got 4 teams up there against 4 teams Cleveland County, and the population is more in Cleveland County, and they've got a charter school to contend with. So the talent it seems like moves a lot, Terry, depending on who the coach is at what school up there. If I'm correct, I'm not an expert on it, so if somebody get mad at me, I'm sorry, but just from an outside perspective, that's how I see it. Well, you think kind of the same thing, or?
Well, I mean, that's also true. I mean, I agree with that 100%. I mean, look what's happening at Chase, and this is to me could be one of Chase's best teams that they've ever had. And probably not going to make the playoffs.
Well, for example, look at Lincoln County. I mean, Lincoln and they're down.
Yeah, people's not used to that. Yeah, and fan situation, that's a big thing because I know if you're a diehard fan, and I graduated from Lincoln, and we're not used to being down where you're finishing 5th or 6th or 7th in the conference. That's just not what we're used to. And when it does fall down, fans sometimes get very irritated. They don't give a coach time enough to get his system in place or how they play. And then when you come out here, and I know fans go a little bit crazy, but some of them don't like the helmets. And I'm like, well, that has nothing to do with the players playing the game, but, little things, and people complain about it.
Well, it seems to me that –
go ahead, Tom.
Well, I was just going to say, it seems to me that it's just the mindset has trickled down from what it is at the professional and college level to the high school level where, to your point, Terry, it just seems like they don't want to give coaches any time to implement a system. And they always want to blame the coach when – and I know this is kind of just unfair sometimes to the kids, but a coach can only do so much if he's got talent.
Well, I also want to point out, Terry, what you're talking about as far as the winning stuff, is that it also shows sometimes who people's true colors are.
Yeah.
Because if you're willing to endure losing seasons, not because you're a bad coach, you're a bad team, it's because you just don't have the numbers. We look at some of these schools. Bessemer City's got 16 wins of players this year. They've won this conference before. Is it Mountain Allen or Thomas Jefferson that's never beat them before?
Oh,
and only one of them's beat them once.
Yeah,
I think like they're 15, whatever, 16, 20, whatever, in one against Thomas Jefferson and Mountain Island. And it's going to go. They're going to lose 2 this year, and twice as many as that. It's just a numbers thing. And what I mean by that, what you see in those 2 true characters is that if you're there for the kids and love of the game, like the Steve DeGrees of the world, whether they win or lose, and I know he's in a winning program, but either way, he would still be there for those kids and the ones that are sitting there, throwing adults and kids under the bus over winning a football game. For someone who's, I don't know, I can count the number of football games I've won in my life on 2 hands. Like, people aren't in realization in their lives, and you want to win and win and win. And again, it's just high school, and you can't just pay players to come play for however you want to. I guess how they do, but I'm just saying you can't. There's no free agency. It's whoever's mama had and daddy had kids 18 years ago.
Yeah, and you go.
Hope they had twins.
Yeah, Coach Boone.
So I hope they're athletic.
Yeah, and Coach Boone, I mean, I don't care. He knows how hard it is. I mean, right. he's there doing it. But with 16 players, you got players going both ways, and it's tough.
Everybody,
I do not care who you are.
It's special
if these
teams.
were great athletes and you had them out there, it still would be tough.
That's what I try to explain to people. Like when they say, "Well, Shelby's better than best." Well, they've got 60 people. I tell y'all what, you let us pick your 11 best, and we'll add them to our 16, and then we'll see how good you are.
Yeah, that's it.
We'll see how quick that turns. And that's what, a lot of points, a lot of times, like, our 1s and 2s and 3s and 4s are pretty good. But there's 7 other players on 4 sides. Special teams, and there's a lot of holes out there with less players. All right, I'm trying to pull up those standings, but I really don't want to get too much into that for you guys. What it does set up next week though is some matchups for conference. We were talking about that. So East Lincoln and West Lincoln next week is pretty much for the number 2 seed in that conference. If for some reason, if West wins that, Terry, and then East wins out, I guess that's West will be 4-2, but East
would have 2 losses.
Would have 4-2 with y'all too. Okay, I just wanted to make sure we do that because my schedule here it's got Lake Norman charted on it. So when I look at it, I keep thinking those are in conference games and they're not because it's somebody else. So I got to mark those off. You guys were going up Cherokee for the last week of the season, right?
Mm-hmm.
I just saw that on I didn't know that was on there. So next week, Hunter, on WLON, 2 seed East Lincoln and West Lincoln on the line.
There you go.
Now, next week, Burns and Crest play each other. Nothing on the line. However, both of them, Terry, for the most part, how do you approach this when both of them, Crest will be going for a 1 seed in the following week against Kings Mountain, and Burns will be playing for their playoff lives the following week against Central? I mean, are we running starters out here the whole game against Kings Mountain, and each other? I mean, Burns and Crest. How do you hold back in that game? But dang, you don't want one of your best players getting hurt in a meaningless game the week before the playoffs start. Basically,
I know it's a meaningless game for maybe some of us out here who are not in that county, but for them guys that's in that county, and I still go back to when I had Coach Chris Norman in here, and I asked him, I said, Coach, is it winning the state title or winning Cleveland County, which is the best? And it took him a little bit to answer. Mm-hmm. I mean, don't get me wrong. They want a state title. They do want that slashed by his name and all the players that played for him. But when you lose, people go, you couldn't beat Kings Mountain. I don't care how much you are a 2A champion. But, I've always told people, that even when I played softball and baseball and stuff, and we'd play somebody, and then we'd go on to a tournament, and we'd win the state championship, and I said, you can win that county championship all you want to. I'll take the state title by my name every day. I mean, there's a different ways people look at it. But in Cleveland County, hey, it's a big game for them, and I know them starters are not going to be sitting on no bench. But how long do you play them? I will go with that, because if the game gets out of hand, do you leave them in? Do you take them out? Or if it is a blowout on either side, then you do take them out.
I just, I'm not saying don't play hard. I'm just saying, man, if you got somebody banged up or
and we can't oversee RS Central because they gave Shelby all they wanted,
right? And they beat South Point.
Yeah.
So with that said, though, can South Point with the Red Bone, do they have a shot of beating Shelby then, Terry, this year with that, the way that offense runs and the time, the ball control? They don't turn it over. Shelby has had runs at them by RS Central and Burns this year, and both of them beat South Point barely, but they beat them.
When you look at Shelby and you look at South Point, and I try to identify South Point because they do play Cleveland County quite a bit. Year in and year out.
They're in their conference, whatever.
Yeah.
They go,
and when you always had South Point against Crest, Crest owned it there for a while. Then South Point started winning a few, and then Crest would come back. Then South Point would win. But Shelby has pretty much dominated on South Point every time they've ever played. I think Shelby has so much speed on the outside that it does a difference in the game. And I'm not saying this will do it. I mean, you got to be ready to play. But I've seen Shelby when they had Dax and them, and they would play 10 to 15 yards off the ball from a linebacker position, and then they would come up and meet the holes that were being filled. They took care of that. But I don't know. I think if it comes down to that being a thing, and here I go knocking on wood, I do not think South Point can beat Shelby.
All right, JP, you ready for a break? Hey, there you go. Sit up. We'll be back in a minute. Thompson Fonny's in the house.
Finally.
The rest of the show, KTCBroadcasting.com.
Okay, class, listen up. Do not buy a car without a warranty. Just don't do it. At Friendship Nissan and Friendship Jeep Dodge Ram in Forest City, we have lifetime warranty on new and used cars. That's right, lifetime warranty on new and used cars. Unlimited time, unlimited miles. And through the end of this month, we're offering up to $4,000 over Kelley Blue Book value on your trade. So one more time, Friendship Nissan and Friendship Jeep Dodge Ram has lifetime warranty on new and used cars, and you'll find us in Forest City.
Daniel Carter of North Lincoln High School is this month's McDonald's KTC Broadcasting, WhatsUpShopper.com Scholar Athlete of the Month. Daniel is a senior at North Lincoln High School and plays baseball, football, and basketball. Daniel has a 4.41 grade point average with AP courses, including earth science, statistics, calculus, European history, and English literature. Daniel is a member of the National Honor Society and the Beta Club. He also plays American Legion Baseball in the summer. Daniel is a member of the Denver United Methodist Church. After graduating, he plans to attend Davidson College and play football. The McDonald's KTC Broadcasting WhatsUpShopper.com Scholar Athlete Award is to recognize a student athlete, not only for accomplishments in athletics, but also for overall achievements in the classroom and for overall school and community citizenship.
Take advantage of a special offer on the versatile Kubota BX Series subcompact tractor. Switching attachments is simple, and a smooth hydrostatic transmission makes for easy operation. The Kubota BX Series, the #1 selling subcompact tractor in the U.S. for over 10 years. You own the land. Now, make it yours. Get the Kubota BX 2380 for payments as low as $99 a month.
Your Kubota dealer is Park of Arms Service, 126 Bessie Drive, off Highway 74 at Oak Grove Road, Kings Mountain. Earn cash back on dinner while you listen to high school sports on the radio. With a Carolina Federal Credit Union Visa credit card, you can enjoy 1% cash back on every purchase. Carolina Federal Credit Union's Visa credit card has no annual fee and rates starting as low as 10.9% APR. Apply for a credit card online at carolinafcu.org or stop by the Carolina Federal Credit Union drive-thru for an application. Join Carolina Federal Credit Union, where we treat you like family because you are. APR is the annual percentage rate. Rates are subject to change, and an actual rate will be determined based on credit score. It's been a tough year, especially for our students and faculty at all of our local area schools. The City of Cherryville would like to take this time and salute all of our school heroes, from Cherryville Mayor H.L. Bean, Council members Jill Pewitt, Malcolm Parker, Gary Freeman, and John Abernathy, and City Manager Jeff Cash. You are appreciated, and we salute you for the job you do. This message from everyone at the City of Cherryville. Full Throttle Power Sports in Gastonia has just gotten a whole lot bigger, and we mean a whole lot bigger. They have just purchased MS Power Sports in Gastonia and are now your dealer for Honda, Suzuki, and Kawasaki, along with CF Moto, Yamaha, and Polaris. Golf carts too. One big dealer under one big roof, plus a complete parts and service department. That's Full Throttle Power Sports, 101 Indian Walk of I-85 in Lowell. Online at ncfullthrottle.com and see their page at whatsupshopper.com.
And we're back on Saturday Morning Sports Talk with Kevin and the gang.
Kevin and the gang, what's up? I don't know what type of gang we got in here, JP.
Yeah.
But
Tom Centofanti's
in the house. Good morning, Tom.
Hey, guys.
Gang's all here.
Gang's all here now. I'm sure Terry thought that I quit, but
darn it.
Let me tell you.
There's more airtime for Terry.
There's very few people that can turn me into a Michigan fan, but this weekend I'm going to be a Michigan fan because I'm tired. Because I'm sick and tired
Terry
of this
man.
Terry
has forced you to pull for Michigan.
He's
such a jackwagon.
You know, like you're trying to work, and some guy's blowing up your phone. You know,
that's a tough.
It's been insane.
That's
like,
a tough game.
Like,
Tom.
what's wrong with you, Terry? Are you okay?
It's all about our conference.
Who cares? Like, it's so much. Like,
Tom,
Terry might have sent 75 tweets in the last week about the Big
Tom,
Ten.
So you're prepared to
and I don't
commit
I have no
sacrilege.
idea what's going on.
It's going to be tough, but I'm pulling against him.
When he looks at the television this weekend, it's not going to be Michigan, Florida State. It's going to be Michigan versus the Terrys.
Well, the Fighting Reinhardt, Florida State.
The Fighting Reinhardts.
Well, how you going to pull for Florida State? Florida State. Come on.
No, I know, right? Well, we've got
Tom,
NASCAR to get into.
When
Bristol.
When Syracuse play?
It's Bristol, baby.
Oh, wait a minute. Okay, it's racing.
Sorry. Yeah, we're going to do what I want to here, Tom. I got to leave early. I don't want to waste my time on
I understand.
your simpletons.
Yeah, March Madness. Who wants to talk about that?
I don't.
Go
I
ahead.
haven't seen a. You know what? After Vegas and the NCAA fixed it to where they got the dream matchup they wanted between Gonzaga and Norfolk State, I quit watching. Okay, Coach Pruitt on the phone. If JP hit the right buttons there.
Good morning.
Good
Good morning, Coach.
What's up?
Well, what's up with you? It's
No.
it was right 8:30. Good. Suns might come out today. We got baseball, more football today on this Saturday. We got more basketball, all kinds of things with KTC. Thomas Jefferson wins last night, 42-14. Tell us a little bit about what went on. I've got a couple highlights I might be able to pull up here for you.
Just a really good effort by our kids. The effort's there, but sometimes the execution's not quite there. And I think that's what happens with a young team, particularly when you're playing a really solid opponent. I'm not sure. I don't believe Thomas Jefferson's quite as good as they were last year. They don't quite have the size on the defensive front, but they really attack you up front. And if you're not ready to attack them back, it gives you trouble. And then, we had some opportunities in the passing game. If our pass protection's a little better, we'll get to the end of our route. We just ran a few routes. Defensively, I thought we really had a sustained effort, particularly for most of the first half. Gave up a couple of big plays, were huge. Pretty even in the kicking game. Of course, we made a big play with a fake punt. Should have called it 4 or 5 years ago and never pulled the trigger. But it worked last night. But overall, really playing a good conference opponent that hasn't lost. Obviously, with our schedule, we had Pine Lake Prep, who's undefeated, and Thomas Jefferson, who's undefeated. So we're one of the few teams that plays both of those teams in our league. So this year that draw probably wasn't the greatest, but it is what it is. So we move forward to Christ the King, and, of course, we know who's the last team on our schedule. So we look forward to playing a Wednesday game, short two-day week. So that will create some barriers to what we want to do and what we want to install. So our game plan will probably look pretty similar to what we did against Thomas Jefferson. Like I said, we just got to execute better.
Coach, my question for you, go over how come it's you're playing on a Wednesday instead of a Friday. I know some people might not quite understand why you're doing that, but I got two other questions in behind that. Number one, you've played Thomas Jefferson, you played Pine Lake Prep. How do you look at both of those two teams when they play each other? And then I'll get to the last question here in a second.
They won't play each other, Terry, I don't think. I got a feeling Pine Lake's going to be big, and Thomas Jefferson will be little. But we are playing on Wednesday. Christ the King being a parochial school, obviously nobody in our conference, I don't believe, is playing on Good Friday. Everybody's moved up to Thursday, but in the world of religions, in Methodist Church, we observe Maundy, Thursday, as would the Catholic faith, and therefore they didn't want to really play on Maundy, Thursday. So we're going to go ahead and play on Wednesday, and of course it's no school day for us. So we'll probably come in a little early that afternoon and do just a little walkthrough, and might even come out in helmets, cleats, get on the field. Not like our true Thursday practice, but a little bit more intense than just walking out there in a pair of jeans and a game jersey on and saying, hey, we want to make sure we do this, this, and this. So we'll try to have a plan to that. And we've played a couple physical games the last couple of weeks. This past week we played a JV game, and some of our 8-quarter guys have played in both games. Our kids are probably a little beat up compared to other times in our season. So tomorrow at our meeting, we'll discuss, do we want to stay in shoulder pads and helmets and girdles this week, or do we want to go full gear? What's the benefits of what we want to do? The main thing is let's get out on the field Wednesday and play a little bit better from the execution standpoint. I think the playing hard is covered. I think our kids are really giving a great effort. So we just got to go out there and correct a few things and keep playing with our young team, and look forward to the last 2 weeks.
All right, Coach. And my last question for you, I know a lot of times when we come in here, I don't never forget the big guys up front. Can you name a few of your guys that run that offensive line for you?
Yeah, last night we had Jack Dellinger as one of our captains. Jack's a sophomore, and he played at Highland Tech last year, and he's going to be a guy who plays tackle for us through his career. So he's done a really good job of getting into our system. We're playing a freshman beside of him this week, Caleb Hovis. And Caleb plays both ways. And Jack played a little bit both ways last night. But Caleb coming to us from Chavis, and he is really going to be a great player. I know we move him around at times. Like last night, he played a little right tackle, and he played left guard. Wanted to come in playing in the tight end position, but our depth doesn't allow for that. So Caleb's a kid that's going to be a kid I think that can be both of those kids can be kids that if they want to go and find a place to play at the next level, I believe they'll have that opportunity. Dawson Long's our center. He's been our center for the last couple of years, and Dawson, of course, he takes care, hopefully, of making the line calls and doing things well each day. And you got to have a center that knows what they're doing. So we're blessed to have a senior there. And then at right guard, we play Mitchell Lackey, who played last year as a sophomore. Mitchell plays both ways a lot, too. And at our right tackle is Austin Hauser, who is a senior. But, Mitchell's kind of like our Iron Man. He don't come off the field very much. In the past, we've kind of got him some rest this year. But last night against Thomas Jefferson, they like to run a scheme with their back and their quarterback, and it's really the job of our 5 technique to take care of the back or at least make it difficult for them, and he's the best at doing that. So he played a little bit more last night than he had been. So that's our group. At tight end, we've got a rotating group of Hunter Goodman and Ford Golden as our seniors, and then Tegan Strutt, who is a big body who can really provide a lot of opportunities for us as a blocking tight end, but also a receiving tight end. He's very athletic for his size. So of that group, everybody's coming back except for Dawson and Austin. So we're looking forward to that group being a strong point for our team next year.
Well, right. Coach, I appreciate that. The only thing that I'd say about that, I know the tight ends, we always hear their name when they do good things, but them offensive linemen, the only time you're going to hear them is if something went wrong, and I appreciate you doing that.
Yeah, that's not a problem, Terry. And in that group, I communicate with my coaches from time to time. Last night, I guess I fell asleep at some point watching film, and had sent a few messages to Coach Moss. And one of the reasons I was a little late, I was not responding, but reading his text. And Coach Moss is our offensive line coach. Honestly, I probably need to find ways to help Coach Moss, because when you got one coach, Terry, coaching 5 guys, that's the coach that's getting stretched the most. And that's something that is, for me as a coach, a head coach, that's something I need to do. And that might be me coaching and helping Coach Moss a little bit myself, and letting my young coaches who know how to work with my quarterbacks and wide receivers and running backs work with my group. So that's something that we might look into these last couple of weeks.
All right, Coach. One quick bit. You've got Community School of Davidson and Bessemer City. The next 2 games, Christ the King, right, in Bessemer City the next 2 weeks. 32-28 last night in their game. Christ the King over Bessemer. So you've got some pretty good matchups, it looks like, here to end the season for the Ironmen.
Yeah. I watched some of that film. Bessemer got behind early, a couple of turnover, and then Christ the King. I think their quarterback had been out for a good part of the season with a concussion. I'm not remember. I think Community School of Davidson's coach might have mentioned it. But he can really throw the football, and they got a wide receiver. He's not Tweety like over at Thomas Jefferson, but he's that tall and he runs pretty good. So he's a matchup issue. And last night, I really thought our defensive staff did a good job of matching what Thomas Jefferson does. We play a couple different coverages against trips and a single receiver, and we did a good job going into around the second quarter doing that. Just last night, they ran a little screen pass, and we took a couple bad angles, and then also they had a big running play where we thought we had a good stun in, and we just kind of missed them. So we got to brush up, don't give up big plays this week. And last year we played Christ the King and had no film, and they ran some stuff that we weren't prepared for, gave up a couple big plays. So that's really where we need to put our onus this week in terms of what we need to concentrate on.
All right, Coach. Well, good luck this week, and I'm sure you'll talk to Tim and Danny some more and get ready for the game. And good luck to you guys and everybody as you guys go on the road against the Christ the King. Wednesday, right?
Yeah, we'll push everything
Wednesday,
up. So I guess I'll talk to Tim and Danny on Tuesday night so they can do a pregame. I appreciate those guys taking the time. The last couple of Thursdays, we've been having to worry about, Coach, is supposed to have a tornado watch. Think we could do that, back it up a little bit? Or, we trying to get them to the studio safe. So I appreciate those guys taking the time to do what they do with me every Thursday night or Tuesday night, whichever one it is.
All right. Yes, sir.
All right. Take care, guys.
Thank you, Coach. You have a good weekend, and take care of you and the family. And
all right. Hey, next week I do have a next year conference schedule in my possession. Coach Cheryl's worked hard on it.
Oh, goodness.
So we'll share a little bit about that, maybe.
Okay. Well, good deal.
All right.
Thank you, sir.
Guys, take care. Yes, sir. Bye.
So that's Coach Tim Pruitt and Trevor Lyman. Of course, we'll talk those conferences and more next weekend. All right, guys. It's Bristol, baby. NASCAR in the dirt. Terry's on the edge of his seat. I couldn't be any more excited. It's going to be one of the best races of the year, if not ever. And I'm just giddy, Terry, aren't you?
This bothers me.
Yeah. Oh, God, what bothers you? No. Fun? Having fun, Terry?
Yeah. I mean, I'm going to sit there and watch this thing, but I'm probably going to be
I'm going to watch it too, Terry.
We need to have a watch party. Here's what we need.
I'm going to watch it too. And
Cold beverages brought to you by JP.
I'm going to take sheer delight in your misery sitting in your little house, West Lincoln, just so upset that we're racing on dirt.
You know the greatest thing that can happen out of this, Tom?
What's that?
Is Kyle Busch win it.
Kyle Busch ain't going to win it.
I mean, he got on that truck last week and said, "You know what? I'm going to the front." Yes, I'm going to the front, and he did.
He reminds me of the Little League dad that inserts himself into the Little League game.
He's probably got over 700 victories now.
Kyle Busch is the one that wants everyone else to play by the rules, and he's the one that's going to push them. But then when it's chaos like this, when it's dirt, we don't know who's sliding into who. He's going to get mad so quick. He's going to wreck somebody. It's going to be the Busch. Put your money on his brother winning way more than Kyle in this.
Now, wait a minute. Last week during the truck race, and they were racing for the stages, I saw Kyle Busch back off so Nemechek would pass him and win the stage. Just so happens Nemechek is one of his drivers.
I know, Terry.
And it gets some points.
Golly. So he cheats. He just goes in there and cheats. He's a car owner, Tom. He goes in there and blocks the other drivers from beating his cars.
Well, no, he got 10 while he finished second. Cheating? They didn't give no points out for second. Then the next guy got 8, so he gained 2 points.
There's nothing
for
Kyle
his
Busch
team.
does that isn't dirty. I'm just going to say that.
Crazy.
But then he come back at the end of the race and won it. So there you go.
It's a truck race,
got
Terry.
Him another W.
It's not even. What are the Xfinity? It's not even an Xfinity race. No. It's a truck race.
Right.
It's a daggum truck race.
It's over 200 victories, Tom. Just count them up.
A truck race.
So
that's like Tom Brady saying, "I'm gonna go back and play college football a little bit more. I'm gonna go back to high school and play."
Long as you win.
Long as you win. That's just crazy. Well, let me give you the details first on what's going on at the track in the race. So, first of all, when you watch the race, folks, you'll see a black line all over the dirt. That is not the pavement. They've already laid down rubber all over this joker. So, it's exciting watching them take. I mean, I watched some practice yesterday online, and they're staying so far away from each other. And then when these cars put 40 cars on the track, it's gonna be nuts. It's going to be nuts. It's going to be fun.
There's going to be so many drivers mad.
Yeah,
there's going to be so mad that maybe wreck within the first 5 to 10 laps. They'd be like, what was the point?
Harvick's quote was he had told himself he was going to hate it the whole time. It's just going to be miserable. And now that he started driving, he's having the time of his life out there on the dirt.
Oh, it's probably going to be fun. Absolutely, until they wreck out within the first 10 laps and realize, well, dang, this was a waste of us trying to come out here and race this race.
Terry, how many cars?
I'm not going to sit here and say it won't be fun, though.
No, here's what's even crazy about it. They added more laps. So this will be the most laps ever run on the dirt in a NASCAR race here in Bristol. And how many cars, Terry's going to end up on the lead lap with 1 to go?
I'm going to say, I'm gonna go 16.
Oh, that many? I was thinking maybe 10.
Yeah, I'm going to say 16.
All right. That'd be nice. That'd be nice. That'd be neat.
So what are their plans to do with the dirt when it's over?
Then you got to get it down. Then you got to add more concrete to it.
Most of
pavement.
Most of it's from the local campgrounds. So there's 7 layers of dirt.
Mm-hmm.
But they had to cut some of the concrete
clay
off.
There's all kinds of things about the odds. Of course, Kyle Larson is tops. With 7 road courses, Terry, we got dirt now. With Kyle Larson and Hendricks, and they're winning at 1.5 miles, is he the favorite right now? I know Chase Elliott's supposed to be the favorite, but dang it, is Kyle Larson not in the hunt for this championship of him and Denny Hamlin?
I would say so. I would say so if it was me, because, I mean, last week, I mean, until the very end, Kyle Larson was leading every lap.
Right.
And he's made a tremendous return to NASCAR, and I give him a lot of credit because he never really went away. He went to doing a lot of stuff that was below.
I think he was racing ARCA.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, and he is winning about every week. So, he never
the
really...
World of Outlaws.
Or World of Outlaws.
Yeah.
That was one of them.
He's killing that.
So, this is one of the things where,
Who are your favorites?
I bet you
Blaney?
every... What?
I'll tell you the odds favorites. Kyle Larson's 5-2 to win Sunday, edging out Christopher Bell 11-2. Austin Dillon and Chase Briscoe are 10-1. Chase Elliott at 11-1 are your favorites. Top 5.
To me,
Blaney's not in there.
He might be in top 10.
To me, Kyle Larson, of course, when he first hit the scene in NASCAR, they said he was probably one of the most talented drivers in the field. Problem was he just wasn't with a great team.
Yeah.
And then guess what?
Yeah.
Now he's with a great team. And the problem is every team that probably didn't want to sign him because they didn't want to face any sort of backlash is probably kicking themselves right now because they're saying, man, if only we would have had Kyle Larson and his talent behind the wheel in our vehicle, he'd be doing for us what he's doing for Hendrick.
I don't know if you guys heard, but he had to change engines, so he's going to start in the back.
That's not going to matter one.
Well,
actually, you know what? That might be the best thing for him.
Yeah.
If the wreck happens up early, he might be fine. This might have been a ploy, Tom. He might have done that on purpose. He knows something.
You got to tell me you want to start in the back at Bristol.
At Bristol.
Don't listen.
That's good. You're not going to be...
This is not just... Listen, this isn't Bristol. This is dirt track Bristol.
This is
where
dirt
you
track
could have,
Bristol.
you could have 10 cars wrecked out on the first lap.
Care. You don't want to start in the back.
If there's a wreck in front of you, you're going to hit
Listen.
Listen,
I don't know.
You take a left and right.
It was the second, third race of the season, and Denny Hamlin, for some reason, needed to back up and ended up saving him for that race because there was a ton of wrecks in front of him. So it could be a blessing in disguise. But as talented as he is, just because he's seeing a bunch of taillights doesn't mean he's going to see him for a long time.
But just like Kevin said, they have practiced on this track, right?
Oh, yeah.
So I mean, why do we assume that there's going to be a bunch of wrecks when they've practiced on the track? It's not like
because
it's been raining
right
all
now
week.
they're trying not to tear their cars out of hell. They're trying to figure out where in the world to go.
When you have practiced on a track, it's a lot different from racing on the track.
But these guys are acting like we're turning teenagers loose in New York City to drive. Like these guys aren't professional race car drivers.
It might be.
Because here it is. You're going to have guys like Kevin Harvick and
you're
going to have guys like Harvick and Truex, maybe, and even Denny Hamlin taking care of their equipment, trying to figure it out. And then you're going to have the guys like the Austin Dillons, Chase Briscoes, Christopher Bells. They're like, I know what I'm doing. Bye, guys. And they're going to haul butt.
Yeah.
And there's going to be an issue when they start lapping cars. When they start lapping cars, and then you got to go through lap traffic on the dirt, and they don't know how they're sliding and stuff. Oh, it's going to be fun. And they're not sliding too much because they're so heavy. It's not as bad as you think.
Is it going to rain? Is there any
possibility?
Is there?
And when you're out there and you are these drivers and you know none of them want to go a lap down, especially maybe two, because then it's going to take you a while to catch back up. Nah, I don't know.
So they've taken the splitters off the car so they don't tear the bumpers up, and also you don't need them on the dirt. So the bumpers are more flexible for this race, so they're going to be able to push a little bit more. Here's some more details. 250 laps, first stage 75, second stage at 150. Teams will execute non-competitive pit stops, okay? So there will be no races in pit row. So pit row, the teams aren't bringing half their people, okay? Because you pull in and leave in order.
You're talking. It's going to be a scheduled pit stop. They're going to schedule it,
basically.
Okay.
Teams will execute, but if it's under green, there's no.
Let's get ready to say. What if it's under green?
What you said when you're pitting under yellow, there's no passing under. Is what it is. You understand what I mean? There's no passing on pit row under yellow.
But green is not
right. You can't do them. Yeah. Exceptions will be made for vehicles involved in that incidents. Obviously, additional teams will not required to pit during stage breaks, so they don't have to pit during stage breaks. You can get positions that way, but stay on the track. Those who elect to stay on the track during stage intermissions will line up ahead of the cars that pit. The choose rule will not be in effect for this race. There's your odds. Goodyear tires, if you care about that. Straying from the usual radials, Goodyear is providing each team with 3 sets of Eagle Dirt bias ply tires. They're asking for an extra set after some extra tire wear after we practiced the last few days. So they may get an extra set before Sunday for that. So they may have 4 sets. The weekend's tires are based on dirt modified tire and Goodyear's racing tire line. It says that the truck teams ran at Eldora, Speedway in the past. There's been 489 Cup races held on dirt. Last one was September 30th, 1970. Richard Petty in Raleigh in a Plymouth.
What year?
At the North Carolina State Fairgrounds. 1970.
51 years ago, Terry.
Okay. It took us 50-some years to decide, hey, let's go back to dirt.
It's one race, Terry.
It's one race, Terry.
You could have 20 mile-and-a-half ovals or one on dirt.
With all the dirt roads around West Lincoln Middle School and High School, we figured you'd like dirt roads,
This is how
Terry.
NASCAR started,
I don't like dirt.
This is exactly how it started.
Yeah, it did. No, it didn't start in sand.
Well, it started in the back roads of the Watauga County. If you in the North Carolina Mountain Appalachians,
dirt and pavement.
for you people from Ohio, the Appalachians, not the Appalachians, right, Tom?
We actually had that discussion yesterday. We were talking about the Proclamation of 1763. I know it's a riveting subject for you.
There you go.
But I just said you couldn't go on the other side of the Appalachians, or is it Appalachians? And I was Appalachian. They were very. It was quite a retort they had.
Well, what's funny is people that didn't go to Appalachian will argue with you about how to pronounce it.
Appalachian.
Yes, you'll hear that from the Northerners. You're like, I went to the university. I know exactly how it's pronounced.
Does it really?
The university.
Does it really matter?
It does to Western Carolina.
It definitely does. Lachin. I don't know what that is.
We called it Crapalachian, but you know.
You were asking about the dirt. Over 2,000 truckloads of dirt were hauled in to fill the half-mile track. 19-degree banking in the turns. Track layers include sawdust, dirt stockpiled from past events and locations from around the area, lime-treated clay, and Bluff City red Tennessee clay to top it off. And then tires.
Red dirt flying everywhere.
The guys, Jordan and them were joking about how the masks were needed for this one that they've been carrying around all year.
Yeah.
They're ready for
They're actually needed
keep
for
the dirt
this.
out of their faces.
Yeah.
Clip Boyer does a good job in broadcasting. Everybody knew he would with Gordon. Let's see if there's anything else. Blah 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 on that. How about some the schedule? Pull that up. Lineups. That is not. These are qualifying races.
Is Xfinity racing on this too, or is it just Cup?
Everybody's racing.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, this is everybody in Bristol's having a great time. It seems like.
Yeah.
So it just seems like to me it's just going to be more compact tomorrow after Xfinity runs on it today.
Both Cup and Truck Series will have 4 qualifying races of 15 laps each. Only green flags will count. No overtime rules in effect. Free pass and wave around procedures will remain. Starting lineups were determined by random draw in the heat races. The main race starting lineup would be determined by a formula that weighs finishing position plus positions gained during qualifying racing. Drivers finishing first in the qualifying race earn 10 points. It's going to be confusing for people that's not familiar with any type of dirt track racing, I would imagine. Additionally, drivers earn 1 passing point for each position gained. Basically, they're going to be passing each other for qualifying in the heats, and so that's how they're going to qualify. So it's actual racing for qualifying. So even those would be a little bit more exciting than regular qualifying, just riding around by yourself. Ties and combined points will be broken by current team owner points. So there's Bristol, baby. Now, with all that said, so there's no qualifying for us to talk about. Hunter, tell me someone not named Kyle Larson that's going to win this race.
Well,
give me a surprise. Or one of the old dogs going to finish. Now, remember, with Rex, anything can happen.
Yeah, I think that's kind of what puts a real pin into you trying to pick anybody, and especially an experienced driver, because you really don't know if they're going to be the ones that are playing real conservative or gunning to try and be out in the front. So to me, I would be almost as tempted to take one of the younger guys, like a Chase Elliott. It is easy just to pick a Kyle Larson. As crazy as it sounds,
how about your boy Cole Custer this weekend, guys?
I like Cole Custer.
I was thinking Cole Custer, but I'm going to go with a name that they said probably will come out wheeling and dealing early. I'm going to go Austin Dillon on dirt in Bristol. I think the key, seriously, because like you said, there are going to be guys that are going to try and feel it out. It might just be to try and get out in front of as many people as possible so you're away from any kind of action that happens. Yeah. So if you're going to come out flying, you might as well do it now, and I'll take Austin Dillon.
All right. How about surprise from Mike McDowell? Hey, I guarantee Ricky Stenhouse Jr. is going to wreck somebody. How about that?
Yeah,
if you want to guarantee for this week. Clint Boyer's going. He's not racing, Terry.
Yeah, but they need to stick him in one.
Oh God,
That'd
what about
be great?
So Harvick, Cole Custer, Eric on.
Who you got, Terry?
Ryan Blaney.
Okay.
Yeah, that's who I'm gonna go with.
Terry goes with Blaney. He's in the 4th qualifying race with Chase Elliott, Briscoe, Chastain, Kyle Busch, Benedetto, and Corey LaJoie.
Chase Elliott struggled last week, so I'm going with him this week. I think Chase Elliott gets a win.
That's a good. That's
not
good,
a road
good
course.
breakdown.
Well, you broke down everything, basically read the whole backup website. So what do you want me to do?
Terry, can Bubba pull this off? He won a truck race.
Hold on. So let me say one thing. When I talk, I'm told I talk too much. But then when I keep it short, I'm told I don't talk.
I'm just in a mood. I'm just in a mood after yesterday. Then I have to leave early to go do more baseball today. I told Gene yesterday. I said it's bad enough having to deal with football rainouts. Now I got baseball at the same time. Y'all are making me pull my hair out.
We're used to your abuse, Kevin. We're used to it.
What about Ryan Newman in this race? I'm going to pick him just for old dog ain't got nothing better to do than win this Joker. And heck, if he wins this, I'd retire if I see him.
I guess the hard
walk away win at Bristol.
The problem for me, though, I guess when we're picking this right now is like you said. I mean, they still got to qualify. I mean, I don't really know who's going to be sitting where right now. If what you said is correct, I'm not downing you, but if what you said is,
I read it.
Terry,
I didn't make it up.
Listen,
Terry,
I'm
what
just
about
saying.
This could be a place. This could be, we talk about upset wins. How great would it be to see the 43 and Eric Jones winning on the dirt in Bristol when Pritchard Petty was the last one to do it?
Think of this. I mean, you've
Derek
had
Jones can do it on
6
dirt,
races, 6 different winners.
Yep.
So that could happen again.
Larry McReynolds predicted 10 to 13 different winners this year based on how everything was set up and what he thought everyone's strengths were. Only 16 make it. That means it may not points is going to be tough to make it on. Denny Hamlin ain't won yet. So, yeah. Okay. So I've got Newman. You've got who?
I got Blaine.
I said Chase Elliott.
Chase Elliott. And
I said Austin Dillon.
And Austin Dillon. All right, JP, let's take a break. We come back. We're going to talk NBA trade deadline, big NFL trade, and more. No, JP, hold on. I'm sorry. I've got something. I got something important on NASCAR before we go. Bristol Dirt. Have y'all seen the story of Nick Stoop?
No.
No?
No.
Nick Stoop raced at the Bristol Dirt Nationals, tried to qualify with the Bristol Dirt Nationals, and I'm pulling up his car. Terry, he went up to Bristol in this Joker. Let me pull it for the folks watching online. And I'm going to tell you a little quick story about it. So this is...
Hey, how about that?
Nick Stoop's
That's dirt track, buddy.
Grim Reaper mobile.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
He took up to Bristol to qualify. So the story is, I got a couple more pictures. Wait till you see him. I mean, this old dog is old dog, okay? Here's the car going around. Terry, what kind of car is that? My mom asked, and I was like...
Ooh, good question.
I said pieces of a lot of... The old Grim Reaper 74, there he is!
There you go, buddy.
He did what many people have dreamed of their whole lives, is ride around Bristol, and they put dirt on that Joker, and he decided to take it up there and try to qualify it up at Bristol. Now, not only that, not only do I have pictures, guys, I've got video. How about Nick Stoop at Bristol? This is him showing up to qualify. And there he goes around the track, starting third in the race, folks. This is the first lap. Now, it's not going to be long before he's last, but he started third. Down into turn, basically 3. He ended up in last. But here they come around. Nick Stoop, I don't know how old he is, old fella, and he qualifies. This old jalopy.
There he comes, in the back.
He'll be around in a minute, Terry. I can't put the sound up for obvious reasons, but here he comes. There goes Stoop. He's last, but he's not getting blown out. I mean, he's
we ain't run but 1 lap.
I know, Terry. You got lapped yet.
Well, about 3 laps, he's in behind.
He's having himself a dang good time.
But they were talking about the announcers were being rude, making fun of him, and I'm like, I'm excited. I think it's awesome.
The unsung hero of Bristol Dirt
Now, the bad
Nationals.
thing about it is there'll be 300 of these Jokers show up next year.
Not going to be the bad thing. It's going to be the fun thing.
On the second lap, he's all by himself.
So how was he able to do this? How was he able to do it?
He just entered.
You just entered.
Yeah.
As long as you got a car that fits all the qualifications, Tom, you can drive it up there and put it in the race and qualify.
Really?
Got to meet the qualifications. That's how racing works at all levels. You just got to meet the basic qualifications.
Specs.
Yeah, meet specs.
Interesting.
He obviously didn't qualify for the race, Tom.
Yes, I can see that.
Why are you trying to think about taking the Magnum up to Bristol?
Well, I sold the Magnum a year ago, so that'd be difficult. But
the BMW?
The BMW I can put in there. Yeah, that'd be.
It
fun.
is front wheel drive.
It is.
Oh,
He's ready now.
taking the Beamer to Bristol on the
He's
dirt.
ready now.
But Nick Stoop, folks, go look it up. Google it. It's awesome. Story of the year NASCAR. Wow. It's the stock car B mains. All right, JP. Let's now take a break, and we'll be back in a few minutes on KTCBroadcasting.com.
Where's the French?
Lifetime warranty on new and used cars at Friendship Nissan and Friendship Jeep Dodge Ram in Forest City. And now until the end of the month, Friendship in Forest City will offer up to $4,000 over Kelley Blue Book value on your trade. Guaranteed best prices on new cars, all used cars priced way below book value, and now all new and used cars have a lifetime warranty, unlimited time, and unlimited miles. We're simply not like any other dealer. Friendship Nissan and Friendship Jeep Dodge Ram, we're located in Forest City.
What's up, Doc? It's that time again for that Crazy Rabbit and the Bunny with the Money. Someone will win a $1,000 in-store shopping spree at one of our area local merchants. Register today at one of our many locations, including This and That Trading Post on the Dallas High Shoals Road in Dallas, upstairs and downstairs of Teddy's Emporium Outlet, Eastridge Mall in Gastonia, at Professional Pharmacy on North Main Street in Bowling Springs, at H&M Industries Highway 74 West in Shelby, at Honda Motorcycles of Shelby, East Dixon Boulevard, at Pet Supplies Plus on Park Street in Belmont, at Gaston Used Auto Parts on Dogwood Street in Gastonia, at Medical Arts Pharmacy West Grover Street in Shelby, and at Family Auto Sales Highway 74 East in Shelby. The complete list can be seen at whatsupshopper.com. The drawing will be held Friday, April 2nd. See area stores for details. The Bunny with the Money. Brought to you by The Boss, Carolina Country, KTC Broadcasting, and the whatsupshopper.com.
Looking for a new car? Maybe a pre-owned car or truck, or maybe an SUV? Then let your fingers do the walking and go to whatsupshopper.com. Local dealers with local vehicles. You don't have to drive all over the country. Just click on whatsupshopper.com and take a look at the local selection of cars, trucks, SUVs, and more from local dealers in Gaston, Cleveland, and Lincoln counties. Car shopping just got easier by going to whatsupshopper.com. Pick yours out today. Medical Center Pharmacy in Cherryville and the Falston Pharmacy in Falston are open to serve you. You can come on in and get your prescriptions filled, or you can continue to use their convenient drive-through window. And at Medical Center Pharmacy in Cherryville, the grill is also open for breakfast and lunch. You can even call your order in at 704-435-3259 and pick it up at the drive-through. And both stores are welcoming patient transfers. Buy local, shop local at Medical Center Pharmacy, 607 East Academy Street in Cherryville, and the Falston Pharmacy, Highway 18 North in Falston. It's time to get ready. That's right, turkey season is just around the corner. And the Great Outdoors in Cherryville is everything you need to bag your bird. Just come on in and check out their merchandise. And it's time to get your boat ready for spring. The Great Outdoors is a full-service department and, of course, everything you need to catch that big one. And all remaining winter merchandise, 40% off. The Great Outdoors, Highway 150 east of Cherryville, right behind McDonald's. Online at teamgreatoutdoors.com. See their page at whatsupshopper.com and like them on Facebook, too.
Thanks for help bringing the economy back. One local purchase at a time.
Kind of uplifts you and you feel better.
It's the greatest comeback of all time.
Shop local with whatsupshopper.com, Carolina Country, and The Boss.
And we're back on Saturday Morning Sports Talk with Kevin and the Gang.
But you know what I know about? I know about Friendship Chrysler Jeep Dodge because they sponsor this show.
How do you know he doesn't?
Because I know. 190 Oak Street Extension in Forest City, North Carolina. I'm not into big explanations today. 828-919-3001. Go see our friends at Chrysler. Take your Biden bucks down there. I know you got a few extra for your kids. Put it on a down payment down there. Drive home in a new Jeep Gladiator, Cherokee. If you need some information on them, call my brother Danny. He's a proud customer of Friendship Chrysler Jeep Dodge in Forest City. So get yourself a Dodge or Friendship Nissan, 156 Oak Street Extension in Forest City, 828-245-1661. I really like that Nissan Rogue. Wouldn't mind getting one with a tow package. Take your boat to Lake Norman. You know, you go to Denver, hit Daddy K's on the way home. You know what I mean? Make a day of it in your Nissan Rogue. You'd like to have one.
My first question for Terry, we're talking NBA. It's nothing to you.
Okay.
NBA big trades come across. We're going to talk that in just a minute.
Orlando traded like the whole team.
I tell you what,
they did.
We'll go ahead. We'll talk trades,
Yeah,
and then we'll talk some other things in just a few moments. How about let's go over some of the things. How about the Miami Heat getting Victor Oladipo, and it looks like maybe even LaMarcus Aldridge may join them.
Mm-hmm.
They made the finals last year. They're 2 games under 500 right now.
That don't
22
matter. Just
and
make
24.
the playoffs. Just make
That's
the playoffs.
it.
Well,
same thing with Boston.
the thing about the 7 and 8 seeds, though, Tom, they got to play that funky play-in thing.
Yeah, that's right. They changed.
So you got to be top 6 to make the playoffs, or you could be again. Think about this: without Anthony Davis and LeBron, how many games are they going to win?
They won last night.
Let's say they play 12
without them.
How many you think they win without them? Who'd they beat last night, too?
I do not know, but I know they won.
Have they given the long-term diagnosis on the
Never mind.
Have they done what?
on LeBron's ankle? How
They said
long?
6 to 8 weeks.
Yeah.
Did they say that long? Oh, God.
Well, from the night of the injury, so he's probably got probably 5 at minimum 5 weeks left.
I saw what happened. Like he came out, then went back in.
They say Anthony Davis might still have 2 weeks out too. So
really,
well, that's the guy they need back because the Lakers are better with Anthony Davis than they are with LeBron.
Okay,
they are seriously. The record shows it. With Anthony Davis in there, they're a better team.
He's been cleared for increased on-court work.
LeBron or Davis?
Whatever that means.
Anthony Davis. Listen, I don't know. I think Anthony Davis has been out far too long to me.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, this is the first time he's been injured. Yeah. He's been injured almost every year of his career when he was with New Orleans. Not to end. I've seen a lot of analysts talk about it, and they made a good point. Last year, he got the benefit of having a 4-month hiatus when the NBA was up in the air about if they were going to come back or not. So he didn't really have the wear and tear on his body. Maybe the Lakers looked at this and said, hey, it's a good thing he's going to have a break. Maybe he would put him out the really 2 to 3 weeks he was supposed to miss, and then say, we're easing him back in for another 2 or 3 weeks. I don't know. I don't like it. I think if you can play, you should play. That's just me. But obviously these teams,
Brooklyn's doing the same thing with Durant.
Oh, I know. I think Kevin Durant could have played weeks ago, if not last month. They're doing the same thing with him. It's if you can play, I would like to see you play. But then again, I do know what these organizations are looking at. If you are the Lakers and the Nets,
well, Durant also tore an ACL. Yeah. Let's not run him out here against the Cleveland Cavaliers.
But I'm also saying these teams that like the Lakers and
Brooklyn,
Brooklyn,
that wasn't a shot. Tom. That was the first time I thought of. Sorry,
that they know they're not going to finish below 6th.
Yeah,
so hey, we got a few games that we can keep mingling with. Because we're not going to finish below 6. We're not going to have to play them play-in games to get into the tournament.
I'll tell you what, though.
Well, here's
Miami's
the best thing for the Lakers guys.
They about to go on the East Coast run.
Next 2 weeks, they go on these. They're playing these teams.
Ain't that fortunate.
How lucky?
Ain't
How
that
lucky?
Fortunate. I'll say this.
So they got Orlando, Toronto, Miami, Brooklyn, New York, Charlotte, and Boston. In that.
If Miami lands LaMarcus Aldridge, I'd have the Lakers losing that game.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Lakers could lose that game regardless if they land
also got
LA.
Milwaukee at home, at Sacramento, at Clippers at home.
Mm-hmm.
But when you picked up Oladipo, and you might have a shot at Aldridge with Butler and all the other people, that team's going to be pretty good.
The problem is they aren't going to win games. I'm sorry about as far as the Lakers go. If LeBron and AD's not on the court for 2 weeks. So they play 6 games. How many do they win of those?
They win, I must say 2. I'll say 2.
So they go 2-4.
But I know they won last night. So
let's say they go 2-4.
The East Coast team.
Yeah,
I think they go 1-5 without them both. I mean, I put them at
You
30.
look at the makeup of that team, nobody else out there is really going to give you the 20 points that either one of them, 20, 25 points, either one of them could get nearly the assists that LeBron gets.
Right.
You.
So let's skip those 6 games and puts the Lakers at 30 and 22. Now, let's say they play 12 games without LeBron. What's their records of just AD in those? They win 3 or 4 of those?
Oh yeah. They'll win more with AD in there. They'll go 4 out of 6. They'll go 4-2.
So they could be anywhere from 35 and 30 at the end of this, maybe when LeBron starts coming back. That'd put them 5 games over 500, but that would put them in a 7 seed range because the other teams are already 9 games over 500.
He'll be back before that happens.
But they're 9 games over 500.
When's the season end?
They're playing 72 games. They've played 44, so 30 more games, about 10 weeks.
So it's not the traditional, like, it seems like it usually regular season ends April, but they're not going to end
be a little bit shorter
through May.
Well, think about it, they didn't start till December this year.
You're right.
They usually start in October.
I was trying to think. I was like, wait
May 16th is the last thing on the Lakers.
Right, because usually it ends in April, but okay.
Yeah.
May 16th is the last schedule.
You're usually right, yes, but they started in December
this whole
year.
thing's got all my whole
Well,
sports
I
clock
read
screwed
somewhere
up.
when they were even thinking about starting in December that maybe they're thinking about doing this as it goes forward, starting in December.
I think it'd be
They
great
should.
and
I don't know
short.
why.
And
It should. You're trying to fight the NFL for airtime when you're starting in October. It's just not worth it. It's not worth it.
We all know who the top teams are now with the trades. Some trades out west, Hunter. What's weird about San Antonio?
The biggest trade to me in this whole thing was when Rondo went to the Clippers.
If I would have thought about it, I knew that's what you were going to say. But Reddick goes to the Mavericks.
Yes.
To add, they got 5 shooters at every position. How about Portland making their move? They got rid of Gary Trent for who's the guy they traded for? It just went blank on me.
I can't remember. I had one on the top of my head.
There were so many guys moving around.
There was a lot of
Aaron Gordon in Denver.
That was the one that I liked the most out of the trades to the West.
Does that allow them, Hunter, then to match up with anybody in the West now? Mm-hmm. And they added JaVale McGee to block shots.
If you're a team in the West and you know you have to play the Lakers and Anthony Davis, I'm always going out trying to find somebody that's athletic enough. Okay,
and he scored 40 points last week.
Yeah, he did, and he scored I think 20 or 30 last night.
That's who's going to Portland is Norman Powell.
For Denver, I'll just get to the point. JaVale McGee matches up with Anthony Davis size-wise. I'm not going to say skill-wise, but size-wise, he's going to get in his face. They're both 7-footers, all right? Aaron Gordon, he's not going to stop LeBron, but he's athletic enough to be able to be with LeBron.
Yeah, he can go
and to be able to apparently this year he's become a better catch-and-shoot three-point shooter. And he's like a 6'9", 6'10" 4, so he's a stretch 4. If you're looking at Denver's starting 5, and you just go, Jamal Murray. My God, I saw him drop 50 multiple times last year in a playoff game, all right? We know what Jokic is. He's a walking triple-double. Michael Porter Jr., is a young, upcoming star, and now you add Aaron Gordon to that mix. I really don't know how their 2 situation is. Regardless of that, it doesn't matter. I think they're really freaking good.
Is the 2?
The problem is right now, though, where's Denver at on the what would their matchup be if it ended today, and they had to go in and play playoff wise? Yeah, who would they draw?
Denver right now is in the 5 seed. They got Lakers in round 1.
That'd be
must-watch TV, baby.
Yeah, there you go.
7 games.
See, but I think,
but you know why they're going to lose though? Because
parity.
the coach has their secret weapon on the bench.
I think it's created more parity. It's going to make it more interesting.
I think a lot of these moves have. The East, to me, is still locked up with one team.
With Brooklyn.
Once Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving all come back.
I think Miami gives them a run in the playoffs.
Miami gives them trouble.
If they play.
Miami.
Because of their depth. They just got depth. They got 8, 9 guys that can actually play basketball.
grabs LaMarcus Aldridge.
They're not fantastic, though.
They will they will be a legitimate
I ain't betting
threat.
on Philadelphia for anything.
I like Philadelphia
Second round,
a
bye-bye.
lot. I like Philadelphia. Danny Green caught fire the other night, and they ended up beating the Lakers. That was with LeBron. That was not without LeBron. Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid are getting along together, and I mean, at any moment, Seth Curry can become just as lethal of a shooter as his brother.
See, he doesn't like Philadelphia because Simmons smart mouth.
I know exactly why he doesn't.
And he
like
holds a grudge against Simmons ever since.
I know why he doesn't.
I like people that can play basketball, and he's a.
Have you watched Simmons? Have you even watched the Philadelphia game?
He's a good basketball player.
Okay, thank you.
He can't beat North Carolina.
You know who he reminds me of? He reminds me of Scottie Pippen.
Pretty good, but it's got to be compliment to somebody else.
He's not a fantastic shooter at all, but he's okay. But he reminds me of big, tall, left-handed Scott. He's a good defender. He's one of the best defenders rated.
Mm-hmm.
He's a jackwagon, but Scotty's nicer, obviously. So yeah, Ben Simmons he was a jerk to me, so I'm not a fan of him. But I just don't think they can score with Brooklyn at all. I think Giannis will outplay Simmons.
I think one team will also play their way into a better seed.
Miami.
Well, besides Miami, I think Chicago plays themselves into a better seed. They picked up Vucevic out of Orlando.
Hunter.
I know. I'm saying, though, they picked up Vucevic to add on to Zach LaVine.
But who are they
Vucevic
catching?
is an all-star. Who
Miami,
are they catching?
Boston, Atlanta, Knicks, Charlotte.
They might catch. Listen, but here's the thing. At some point, all those East teams that are in front of them could lose 3 or 4 straight.
Right. Now,
like, it's at anybody.
Now
It just is on Chicago to win those games.
Question for Terry. Ready, Terry?
I'm listening.
I'm listening. All right. I'm just excited about Charlotte Hornets basketball right now because James Borrego, the mastermind of a coach he is, Hunter, has finally put together a rotation and starting lineup that has led to victory. And for 3 straight games, now our lineup is set. We can win games. We're good. We can go on and make the playoffs. The lineup set. Good job, Borrego.
About time.
Malik Monk is on fire, baby. He gets playing time. We get a real scorer on the court. Somebody that's, can play real basketball.
Not lost since ball's been gone.
No, it's not a sideshow anymore, Terry. They're 3-0.
That's it.
3-0 since they were.
And
they've
moved up to what? 4th or 5th?
While Sideshow Bob was on the team, we were under 500 and a 7 seed. Without him, undefeated. We beat. Let's see who all we beat. Look at all these good teams we beat. Beat the Heat. They're pretty good. How about the Spurs? They're both those are in the playoffs. Rockets beat them by 25.
Everybody beats the Rockets.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Monk last night, 32 points. I didn't see a single highlight on my phone this morning by the former first-round pick, Terry, scoring 32
Oh,
on the
I
Hornets.
agree. They're unbeaten with
He scored 32, first-round pick. No NBA, no highlights. Am I being silly, huh?
I'm hating on a 19-year-old kid here.
Not hating. I'm just being realistic.
Listen.
I'm just saying.
He's being silly. He's being silly. Now, listen. That's good that you were winning those games.
Right.
You're also being a Miami Heat who now has Victor Oladipo, at the time did not, about to get LaMarcus Aldridge. Play that game again. You probably don't win it. But that's me being cynical.
And scary, Terry.
Okay, that's me being cynical.
And again, we're in first place. We're about to hang our banner, division champion.
The Spurs are not the same Spurs as they have been in the past. So that's fine with me. And Houston at one point lost 20 games straight. So
when Ball went out, he led all rookies in points, assists, rebounds,
but he's not
and
rookie
steals.
of the year now.
It was not in points. Anthony Edwards led points. Whatever you're reading is false. Whatever you're reading is false.
It's Forbes magazine.
Well, I mean, I can Forbes magazine in a sports chart. What are we?
Look, that's what it says at the top. The number 3 overall pick in last year's draft leads all rookies in points, 15.9, assists, 6.1,
but that's
rebounds,
no good
5.9.
now. That's
Terry,
old news now.
Terry, you know what happened to 3 games before?
Old
Terry, you know what happened to 3
games?
games?
That's when he went out, Terry.
It's old news.
Terry, it's when he fractured his wrist.
Tom, this is easy. The 3 games before he got hurt, they were 0-3. The 3 games after he got hurt, they're 3-0.
Who did they play in those 3 games?
Those have nothing to do with anything.
You know who did they play in those 3 games that went 0-3?
No, here's the problem.
Was it not a West Coast trip?
No.
Monk got more playing time. Plus, now
how could you deny all those
Rozier
stats?
is in the game more.
I mean,
come on now.
It's just this is American culture. You present people with facts, and they just disregard it. It doesn't fit their thesis.
Oh,
now,
Lord.
Kevin, you can say right now,
they're
Anthony
a much better
Edwards
team where they're at, right?
leads in points because Ball's not played.
Right.
He leads by a whole point at 16.8 to 15.9. It's not like his point per games went up a whole point, Tom, in the last 2 days.
I don't know, but I would just trust Forbes. I would trust Forbes to have better numbers
than me.
I mean, that's what Forbes is all about.
Forbes in sports has better numbers than me. I highly doubt that.
Yes, they do. Ken.
No, they don't. No, they do not.
There's a difference between quality journalism and what you do.
If I texted anyone at Forbes right now, Tom, would they know that Appalachian State is tied for the second longest NCAA streak in North Carolina? No. Terry, would they?
No, they not know that.
They wouldn't know that. Would they know Otis Thorpe's scoring average off the top of his head in 1995? No. They would have to look that up in the newspaper articles at the library.
But I will. I'm like Kevin.
Is this happening right now?
I'm going to give Charlotte all the credit in the world because I said they wouldn't win 20 games.
We're in first place.
Yeah.
We got a banner going up. Now that our lineup is set, we're good.
You know
we're good
why?
now.
Because they got former Boston Celtics running their show now. That's how come
Gordon
it makes
Hayward,
a difference.
right? Gordon Hayward, the leader of the team.
So they're going to take credit. They're going to take credit for getting rid of Rozier. Y'all traded Rozier and Hayward for Kimba and replaced them with the two young guys.
They didn't even trade Hayward. They just let him walk.
That's what I mean, mate. Just as far as lineup goes.
You got nothing back for him.
We've got nothing in the middle for sure.
Now, you won last night.
Yeah, we did play decent last night.
But that's because you had 4 players at least.
But now who
plus.
come out playing? Kimba, like he was playing in Charlotte. Take the show, buddy. If you want it, that's why you're out there.
22?
He scored 10 quick, and he used to do that in Charlotte every first quarter.
Well, y'all need to quit making him stand in the corner, Terry. That's the first problem.
No, he don't move.
That's y'all's offense.
Yeah, he's got to move. Go get the ball,
in Charlotte,
buddy.
it's him cutting and stuff. And so the Hornets beat the Eastern Conference champions last night with 32 from Malik Monk.
Who are 2 under 500 this year.
26 Eastern Conference champions, Tom.
We're 2 under 500.
Terry Rozier had 26. Devontae Graham gets playing time. He gets 16. Gordon Hayward with 11. Miles Bridges with 10. And, of course, Biyombo with 2. All right, Hunter, I got a couple questions for you on the Hornets before I go. Mm-hmm. First of all, they need to do something about P.J. Washington. You know about his situation?
Oh, with his woman?
Yes. Because I know we'll talk about it Monday in depth. But is that something they should have traded at the deadline? It's P.J. Washington.
But I think that regardless of his woman, I think they would have been fine if they could have found a suitor for him. I mean,
yeah,
I think that would have been fine. Like I've said, P.J. Washington is just a little bit better shooting Miles Bridges.
I thought that would have been a good offer Washington for Aaron Gordon.
Offer
in a package.
Who?
P.J. Washington for Aaron Gordon in a package.
Who's Aaron Gordon played for Orlando?
I know. He was available for a trade 2 days ago. That's
I know, but you said offer Washington.
Yeah. P.J. Washington.
Oh! I thought you meant...
You think I'm talking about the Wizards?
Yeah, I thought you meant offer the Wizards.
No.
I'm like, what are you talking about?
You have no idea what I was saying.
No, now I do.
Do.
You meant offer P.J. Washington. Yes, for Aaron Gordon. I don't know if you could have done that straight up.
Well, I would a little package.
I'd have tried some. I would have attempted something.
Now, next question. Should they have tried to trade LaMelo? 3 wins in a row, 4th place in the East. His value will never be higher than right now today.
Agree. You could have got a lot for him.
They could have got a ton for him.
Nah, they wouldn't have done it. You know why? Michael likes him.
Who was last year's number 1 pick?
What is I?
You wouldn't trade him for Aaron Gordon? Who's next year's number 1 pick going to be?
Well, if I had to guess, it'd be Cade Cunningham.
Why would you call? I would have called Minnesota and be like, "How about LaMelo for 2 picks?"
Minnesota gonna have another number 1 pick.
Yeah,
just
that's what I'm saying. I'd have called him.
Waste him.
Y'all Melo for number 1 pick is what I called him for. All right. Any other NBA news and notes, Hunter? Before I ask the football question, before I get out of here.
No, I'm fine on the NBA. It was fun looking at the ticker yesterday and everything coming through super fast. I actually did have a fun. It was like a fun little fact from Woj. It was like about how many transactions actually went down yesterday. I'm gonna do this as fast as I can. I did have it pulled up because they did say yesterday was one of the more eventful NBA trade deadlines. The most, yes. Final tally of the NBA trade deadline. 16 trades between 23 teams, 46 roster players traded in total.
You couldn't keep up with it.
Most in each category in the past 35 years of deadline.
I was just listening to him. I said, this guy went here, this guy went there, this guy went there. I was like,
oh, yeah. Hey, that's how Woj makes his money right there. He on his Twitter breaking news about trades and NBA free agents. So that was his day yesterday, kind of like when Schefter drops a bomb or something like that, But I'm telling you, like you said, I couldn't hardly keep up with it because stuff was happening so fast. Players were moving left and right. As you said prior to when we first started talking about it, Orlando basically blew up everything then on their team and said, we're starting from scratch.
They did. They traded everybody.
Yeah, it was interesting. Yeah. But you can go ahead and chalk that down, though, for the next few years. Charlotte's going to get multiple wins against the Orlando Magic.
Yeah.
All right, JP, time for a quick break. We'll come back, talk NFL, trades, and more coming up on KTC.
Question: where do you buy a used car with a lifetime warranty? The answer is Friendship in Forest City. Friendship has a lifetime warranty on new and used cars. Unlimited time, unlimited miles. That's Friendship Nissan and Friendship Jeep Dodge Ram in Forest City.
What's up, Doc? It's that time again. Time for that Quasi Wabbit and the bunny with the money. Someone will win a $1,000 in-store shopping spree at one of our area local merchants. Register today at one of our many locations, including the Falston Pharmacy, Highway 18 North in Falston, Bruner's Automotive, East Main Street in Cherryville, at LDP Farms on Highway 18 North in Bellwood, upstairs and downstairs at Kurt's Premium Outlet in Eastridge Mall in Gastonia, at West End Sales, Highway 18 North in Vale, at Mitchum's Kitchen, Highway 27 West in Vale, at the 3500 Grill, Highway 18 North in Shelby, at the Great Outdoors, Highway 150 East in Cherryville, at Straps Jewelers on East Main Street in Lincoln, and at Love's Fish Box on Shelby Road in Kings Mountain. The complete list can be seen at whatsupshopper.com. The drawing will be held Friday, April 2nd. See area stores for details. The Bunny with the Money, brought to you by The Boss, Carolina Country, KTC Broadcasting, and the whatsupshopper.com.
Wolfman Jack, it's me. I'm back. My name's still Wolfman Jack. Wolfman Jack.
And you might be sitting out there and thinking that we ain't getting nowhere fast. I mean, people don't leave the house unless they put on a surgical mask first. And even at a bar that I hang out, the bartenders have been using thermometers to stir my drinks with.
Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday mornings, 10 a.m. to 12 noon, on The Boss, WHS Shelby, WLON Lincoln, and online at ktcbroadcasting.com. All Ray Tire in Shelby and All Ray Tire in Cherryville are moving together to bring you the best deals possible on your set of new tires. Now, for a limited time, buy any set of 4 new Nitto, Toyo, Pirelli, Cooper, or Nexon passenger or light truck tires and get up to a $70 MasterCard prepaid card. Come in now for all the details. That's All Ray Tire, located at 401 East Main Street in Cherryville, and All Ray Tire at 327 West Dixon Boulevard in Shelby.
Don't miss the Golf Shop Radio Show this Wednesday from 11 to 12, presented by GolfKnickers.com, the leader in traditional golf apparel. Mark Greenheld and Matt Blanchard go from tee to green and everything in between. Welcome to the Golf Shop.
Wednesday mornings at 11 o'clock on Carolina Country, WCSL, 92.3 FM, 1590 AM, and online at ktcbroadcasting.com.
And we're back. Kevin is about to head out the door, so I think he wants to ask a football question first.
Let me get this in first. Friendship Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram bringing you Saturday morning sports talk. They're at 190 Oak Street Extension in Forest City, North Carolina. Call them, 828-919-3001. Friendship Nissan, 156 Oak Street Extension in Forest City, North Carolina, 828-245-1661.
So a computer-generated simulation went through the other day on the NFL schedule, and by picking the number of teams wins it had in the Super Bowl. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Bucks and Browns.
Oh yeah, like it.
Computer simulation ran it out. Had the Browns with 11 wins, Ravens 10, Steelers 9.
Give the Browns some credit. They're trying to make some moves to improve that defense.
Listen,
they've
they are
added 3
trying
or 4
to
pieces there.
Jadeveon Clowney right now.
They visited on Wednesday. I don't know if he'll sign.
All right, now I'm about to ride up the road. I want to make sure I hear about what the Panthers are going to do. I want to hear about the trash NFC East, and I want to hear about this trade. Who's going to do what? Trey Lance. Who's going to be this Panthers quarterback? What are they going to draft? are the 49ers. Who are they getting, Hunter?
Mm-hmm.
And then let me pull my phone up, and I know I have a Twitter question or two. Wherever I put my phone. I don't know where I put,
Twitter questions for me?
No.
Oh,
no. Ain't nobody asking you questions. Not like important ones anyway.
They should.
I want to make sure my news and notes, if anything in the week, I like to find something fun before I get out of here. Yetis baseball coming up in just a little bit today, 12 noon on KTC Broadcasting's YouTube page. Florida, here's some news and notes before I go for you guys. Florida State tonight joined Duke, UNC, and Maryland as the only programs, while members of the ACC, to advance to multiple rounds in 3 consecutive tournaments. Terry, that's just what are you raising those for?
That's right.
NC State was not listed there.
Those were of only ACC schools. That's not the whole NCAA.
I'm not worried about the whole NCAA.
Again, the point was NC State's not listed in that. Only 3 teams in the ACC have won multiple rounds.
3 years in a row.
The average age of the Oklahoma Sooners starting 5 is older than the Oklahoma City Thunder starting 5 this year.
Yeah, I heard that.
Hunter, the picks in baseball predicted by Fox Sports. In the National League, Dodgers in the West.
Oh, imagine.
Cardinals in the Central. Bravos in the East.
As it should be.
Doesn't matter. They're all playing for second.
In the American League, Yankees in the East. White Sox in the Central.
Yeah. They've been getting better.
And ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, out west to pick to win it and to be in the World Series.
There's no way they did it.
Anaheim Angels.
Oh, my God.
There's no way.
I'll see you guys later.
Well, probably,
no way.
Probably not. I have to go
If
with
I
Kevin on
had
that.
to guess on the network that put that out.
It was Fox, though.
Oh, it was never mind. It's not my least favorite of the sports networks.
Yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's my show now, so we're gonna.
Went from ladies and gentlemen, just went from bad to worse.
It just went from.
We had Mr. Moody here to
Tom,
Mr. Power Trip.
Tom, better watch what you say. I control the topics now.
Yeah.
All right. So what we're gonna do
From Kevin's crew to Hunter's
gang
kingdom.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah. There we go.
If you're going to use alliteration, you have to use it on both.
Yeah, but what would you do with an H?
Hunter's hodgepodge of nonsense. That's what I would say. That's probably what's going to come up here.
Tom. That's why they pay you the big bucks.
That's
huh?
why they pay me the big bucks. That's why they call the money.
Yeah. All right, let's go ahead and switch over now as we kind of threw it out there and teased it before Kevin left. NFL, ladies and gentlemen. I know what he wants to hear, so we're going to get it out of the way before he gets in his vehicle. He wants us to talk about what the Carolina Panthers are going to do at their picking at the 8th spot. The problem is, and I'm going to merge these 2 topics into one, we had major trades yesterday.
Yeah.
We didn't think it was going to happen maybe for
There were
a few
a lot
weeks.
of trades. Yeah, there were.
So for me to break this down for our listeners and us, we're going to start at the beginning. So at the 3 spot originally was Miami, and at the 12 spot originally was San Francisco.
And they swapped.
When they swapped.
Yeah.
Obviously, there were other picks involved, but I'm just talking about this year's first-round picks. So Miami went from the 3 to the 12, and San Francisco went from the 12 to 3.
They're going to get a quarterback.
But they're
I
keeping
think so.
Garoppolo.
That's what the reports have said.
Yes.
Now, the other trade that happened, Miami traded again the 12 spot to the Eagles for the 6th spot. So that was the trade madness. When I tell you that happened in a 25-minute span.
So Miami went down, then back up.
Yes. Miami went from...
I heard about the first trade.
In 25 minutes, Miami went from 3 to 12 to 6. So here it goes. 1, Jacksonville.
Trevor
2,
Lawrence.
Jets. Probably Zach Wilson. Probably. After what I saw at that pro day yesterday, I was so impressed. 3 now are the San Francisco 49ers. 4 is still the Atlanta Falcons. 5 is the Detroit Lions. 6 is now the Miami Dolphins. 7, I don't know why I'm drawing a blank. They're picking right before Carolina at 8. 9 is the Broncos. And 10 is Dallas. Yeah. And then 12 is now the Eagles.
11 is the Giants.
11 is the Giants. So, dang,
So
who
the Eagles,
am I missing at this 7 spot? That was just bad.
I can look it up for you, Kevin. I'm just saying. I guess
they do that a lot.
Hunter.
It's fine.
Yeah, they are. It's like they're the same person. What was I going to? I guess the Eagles are going to go with Hurts then.
Yes.
Okay.
But they got Flacco.
Yeah, I saw they signed him 1 year deal. Yeah, they gave him a 1 year deal.
So they got probably the best backup right now. I mean, out of the East.
Yeah, I think they've established where they're at right now.
But the problem I loved about it was Eagles were in front of Dallas, but they traded back to go to number 12, and I'm like, oh, good job, buddies, because that means we're going to get the best athlete that's there before the Giants pick and the Eagles pick.
So when we're looking at these picks, we now have to talk and the reason why I did this is because Panthers fans and Panther Nation, obviously, we're Panthers affiliates. You picking at 8, and everybody thought they wanted to go and get a quarterback.
Yeah.
With San Francisco moving up to where they are, that hurt them.
It did.
It really did because
you didn't make a move.
Not only that, you now have to. If you want one of the top 4 quarterbacks, you now have to try and get to 4. But then you're asking Atlanta if they want to trade with you. And if Atlanta is interested in one of those 4 quarterbacks, I guess you're just SOL. You know what I'm saying?
Do you think Atlanta in your own division is going to trade with you unless you're going to give me a lot of
problem. That's the problem. So, Carolina, enjoy Teddy Bridgewater for another year unless you want to go out here and try and get one of these other free agent quarterbacks that's kind of just floating around. Because do you take Mac Jones at 8? I don't think that was what their plan was. You think about it. So we're looking right now. Let's just say 1 and 2 are solidified at Trevor Lawrence and Zach Wilson. Let's just say that's the case. So that's 1 and 2.
Justin Fields goes 3?
I think Justin Fields does go 3.
I do.
Now, if Trey Lance is available, which he will be at that point, who's to say Atlanta doesn't just take him? Because he is considered out of those 4 a project. So he might not be ready to start immediately. And he can
Matt Ryan.
And you got Matt Ryan.
Yeah, and he can fill right in there and just come in when Matt Ryan, you decide to get rid of him.
Right. But is that what Atlanta wants to do? I don't know. Now, Atlanta, it would be hard for Atlanta not to take Justin Fields either if Trey Lance goes to San Francisco because Justin Fields is from Georgia. Like, that's a hometown guy, one of the top, really, to me, he's the second best quarterback in this draft. I like Zach Wilson, but not as much as I like Justin Fields. Yeah. I think Justin Fields is the absolute gamer.
Better athlete.
Yeah, I think he's the better athlete, too. He's bigger, too. Yeah. Justin Fields and Trey Lance are about 6'4", 6'5", so they're big boys. Yeah. They got big arms, but I don't know. Right now, obviously, we're in Panthers country. I feel like they're in limbo right now because, and you know good and well, David Tepper cannot be happy about this because he was in conversations for Matt Stafford. The Panthers' name has been thrown around as suitors trying to acquire Deshaun Watson.
Not anymore.
He is all in on somehow making a big quarterback splash, and they were in talks now. Maybe they were looking to draft a quarterback, one of the top 4. Well, everything is fizzled out. It's just not worked out.
Did you still want the draft order?
Yeah. What was you can go ahead.
Jags, Jets, 49ers, Falcons, Bengals. That's the one you forgot.
Oh, okay, that is right.
Bengals at 5. Dolphins at 6. You had Detroit. They're at 7.
Oh, there's 7. I had those flipped.
Yeah, Panthers 8, Broncos 9. Your Dallas Cowboys are 10. Then it goes Giants, Eagles from the Dolphins, Chargers, Vikings, Patriots, Cardinals. They traded too. You probably know something about that. I can't remember what the trade was. Raiders, who signed Mark Mariota. He was a name that was floating around.
They were able to get him to come at down on his price tag.
Dolphins, the Washington football team. Not going to call them something else this week, so you can get another punch in on me. Bears, Colts, Titans, Jets, who have another first-round pick. Steelers, Jags, who have another first-round pick from the Rams. Then the Browns, Ravens, Saints, Packers, Bills, Chiefs, and Tampa Bay Buccaneers. That's your first round.
There's your first round. Yeah. Now, if that being the case, I think it's safe to say if I was in charge of the Carolina Panthers at this point, I would, and if I'm dead set on getting a quarterback in this year's draft, I'm throwing together some sort of unbelievable package for that 4 spot. It's not even funny because I don't trust what Atlanta's going to do. Not just that. It's not that I don't trust. I don't know what they're going to do.
Why would Atlanta trade with them?
That's what I'm saying. That's the problem I have. I don't see Atlanta doing that.
I know what you're saying. Why would they? But the problem
is, if I get enough people and stuff, I will.
Why would you give them an incredible deal?
Yeah.
Well, here's no. Well, I'm not just saying.
I would if I get a lot of stuff back for my trade.
Yeah.
Well,
they would have to get value.
Carolina's going to have to give up a lot.
Now, listen, I'm just talking about if they want one of those quarterbacks, they're going to have to regardless because San Francisco didn't trade to 3 to trade to 8. You know what I'm saying? If they can't get higher than 4 and Atlanta decides to take that 4th quarterback, then who are they taking? Are they taking Mac Jones at 8? I don't think so. I think they're sold on this is, in my mind, is what the Panthers believe. Lawrence is 1, Zach Wilson is 2. So the other 2 are going either 3 and 4 or 3 and to us because the teams in front of us outside of maybe everybody's throwing around Atlanta are not taking a quarterback. So if you're feeling froggy and want to jump and you can somehow trade to 5 with Cincinnati thinking that
Cincinnati doesn't need a quarterback.
And Atlanta isn't going to draft one, fine. But if I'm Carolina, I'm not wasting any time. I'm not going to sit here and just wonder. It doesn't hurt for you to trade up to 5 anyways. Because then you could really get one of the best available players. If you need an offensive tackle, you can get one there.
Depends on what you give up, though.
But
depends on what you give up.
Well, you could probably think about it. Cincinnati think they can get the same offensive tackle at 8 that they do at 5. You could literally probably just do a straight up trade from 5 to 8.
I wonder.
I still have a hard time thinking Carolina sits here and like I'm gonna get rid of Bridgewater. A few plays last year, and Carolina would have won a lot more games.
Oh well, Terry,
Bridgewater's not bad.
We all can see that.
You know,
but that doesn't mean
he's not the big.
I mean, you're going to move up to get a rookie quarterback that's better than Bridgewater.
He's not the big
that's not
splash
work.
name that Tepper wants.
That's what I'm saying.
But it's still not going to work.
Tepper wants a Watson, even though he's got some issues he needs to get cleared up.
I've heard there's still 5 suiters that want Deshaun Watson regardless.
I don't know, Hunter. It depends on how ugly is this going to be.
Well, I need to start. It needs to start getting a little bit deeper and some more information comes out. But that's beside the fact. And the fact, really, though, that the Texans, even through all this, haven't even decided to cut ties with him because, you know, some teams would be like, whoa. As the
how much money is it going to cost to cut him, though?
I don't know.
It'll cost a ton of money to cut.
Because, see, this is how I look at it from the Panthers' perspective, Terry. I can't look at it from what me, you, and Tom would do because Tepper is a different animal. We've seen it. The renovations he's making to the stadium, what he's doing for the soccer team. He's not afraid to make some sort of big splash. For God's sake, he went into college to get a head coach.
But I'm worried about he's one of these overambitious ones. That's one thing to pick out, remodel the stadium. Okay, it's one thing to be, who am I trying to think of? The remodel lady, I can't think. One to my mind is one thing.
Yeah.
But it's another thing is to put together a football team. So, Martha Stewart. Okay, it's one thing to be the Martha Stewart of football stadiums and to put together a winning team is something different.
I get a younger Jerry Jones feel out of David Tepper.
That's right.
I feel like he wants to be
Snyder
involved. Dan Snyder for years has done the same thing. He's taking a step back now, but
got too much money.
He does.
That's the common denominator.
Guy.
Common denominator. All those 3 guys is they got money. So automatically, if I got money, I think I know everything. Mm-hmm. And putting together a football team, it takes.
I just don't understand because I'm like you, Terry. They gave him a 3-year deal, Teddy. Why would you not let him at least play out the 2nd year of his deal? Fill another need that you need right now, offensive or defensive, at the 8th spot. And then if you look at a free agent quarterback you'd much rather have next year, maybe you can somehow pry Deshaun Watson away next year, one of those other quarterbacks. And a quarterback probably going to demand a trade somewhere else. It's inevitable. It happens every year. And who knows? They're talking about how bad next year's draft class is going to be for quarterbacks. We don't know. The guys next year could pop.
the only thing that bothers me with them is I sat back and I watched them go get all defensive guys last year, and I said, hey, that's a step. You got to make it somewhere, and they went all defense. And then when you come back this year, and all of a sudden we're always throwing Teddy Bridgewater, we're going to get rid of him. He played over half the year without no McCaffrey. I mean, so you didn't have a running back to help him, and he had a couple of receivers that's going to be decent.
Their backup running back that was in there for him, Mike Davis, signed a 2-year deal with Atlanta.
So I mean,
he's not there anymore.
But give yourself a chance. I mean, I think to me, San Francisco blew their opportunity as San Francisco moved up and Carolina did not do anything. So stay where you're at, get the best available player there.
Oh, that's what
go.
I'm saying.
You know what I'm saying?
I feel like Carolina, if they don't make a decision within this week or next week about if they're going to try and move up to 5 because they think Atlanta's not going to take one, then they are not taking one. Because
Because the last thing you want to do is move up to 5 in Atlanta, take the quarterback that you wanted, and then, what do you do?
Well, I mean, you could probably still, at 5, think about it, it's only 3 spots. You could probably still take the guy you wanted. And think about it. If they're taking quarterbacks 1 through 4, Kyle Pitts is sitting right there. You need a tight end in Carolina. You want to get somebody, you can get him at 5.
I could see Pitts becoming like a Travis Kelce.
I think he's going to
match up nightmare.
Very good.
Yeah, but I just find it hard.
Who's going to guard him?
Nobody.
Yeah, I just find it hard for San Francisco did the right thing. They moved up, and they're going to keep Garoppolo. They're going to pick a quarterback, but they're going to keep a guy. So they've got both. Carolina, if you're going to move up, don't get rid of Bridgewater and go with a rookie, because then, to me, you're taking a step back. Because that rookie's got to learn the whole NFL.
Because they really improved the defense last year in the draft.
They did a good job.
They did.
Improving
I think
the
they did well.
So you got that fixed, and I wouldn't, like I said, I wouldn't move off of Bridgewater right now. I know he's not the big splash name, but he's pretty good. You put a couple other guys around, put a couple extra guys around him. You got McCaffrey, a couple extra guys. I think Panthers could have a good season.
So keeping with the big trade that happened yesterday, obviously we know San Francisco's moved up to 3, and the only reason you would move from 12 to 3 is quarterback. So we figure it's going to be either Justin Fields or Trey Lance.
What'd they give up to do?
I'm telling you, I can't remember.
Yeah,
they gave up an extra pick that could turn into a first-round pick next year, depending on how the 49ers work.
Conditional.
They gave up a lot. I'm just trying to keep with what happened this year. So they went from 12 to 3, quarterback. Now, I'll tell you what. Zach Wilson, the one that can really throw a wrench into all this working out is if the Jets decide to keep Sam Darnold and either trade out at 2 to somebody that jumps up and takes Zach Wilson, or they stay at 2 and take the best available player.
So what I don't understand, if you're the Jets, Darnold's been hurt. He's had injury issues, but when he played, he's been pretty good.
If they don't trade Sam Darnold, they will be one of the only teams in like the last 10 years, and they draft Zach Wilson to have a number 2 and 3 pick on their roster quarterback.
This is what I don't understand. How much better are you going to be if you draft that kid and let him start over Darnold? How much better are you going to be? Whereas if you got the best player available, I think, and you stay with Darnold, you're going to improve your football.
But that's what I
more.
mean by it could throw a wrench into everything, because let's say they take offensive tackle or Kyle Pitts at 2. Just
Pitts
depends.
Might go 2. I could see him going 2.
I think he's going to be phenomenal.
He's good.
But that just depends. So let's say that happens. Who would San Francisco take at 3 then? I still think Justin Fields is better than Zach Wilson, so I'll just say they stick with Justin Fields. Because in their mind, moving to 3, they already know who they're taking. And that's them basing on Zach Wilson's going to be taken at 2, because that's what consensus thought is everywhere. So in their mind, they're like, it's either going to be Justin Fields or Trey Lance. So let's say that happens. Trevor Lawrence 1. They take the best available at 2 for the Jets. 49ers decide to take, we're going to stick with who we wanted, Justin Fields or Trey Lance there. So they take one of them. I'll say Justin Fields. Atlanta, they can either take a quarterback or they don't have to. That actually sets up Carolina perfectly to not have to move up. Unless somebody on draft day sees those 2 quarterbacks are still available and says, well, I'm getting ready to try and jump up ahead of all of y'all, New England, and get Zach Wilson. Maybe get Trey Lance.
Now, they've been making a lot of moves. You got to worry about
they have.
New England, New England has.
I'm telling you. And so
Belichick don't like losing, does he, Jerry?
And you have, but if you're Carolina, this just keeps coming back to, Carolina is in a spot where you can pick still a very good player, but if you're sold on you want to find a quarterback of the future and you think he's in this draft, you got to get aggressive here in the next 2 weeks because draft day's coming up in about a month.
I guess the move that San Francisco made put the Aaron Rodgers rumors to rest. That there was the rumor that he was going to go out there. They're going to get rid of Garoppolo, and Rodgers is going to go out there, back home to California.
I think San Francisco said the right thing on Garoppolo is with us, at least for this year. Maybe not next year.
Yeah,
you're going to get the quarterback in there, be able to learn this Shanahan system for a year, but then after that. I think Garoppolo's gone.
Oh, yeah, I agree. But to me, to move up plus keep him, that's, I'm saying, like, we're not going to throw all of our ducks in the water and get rid of him because we don't know how this really will work.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to bring in a rookie quarterback, and then all of our money is on him. And if we don't have a quarterback, I don't care what type of team we got, it's not going to work.
Well, those defensive pieces that were hurt last year will be back.
Yes, they will.
The only one that won't is Sherman. So they need to address the cornerback situation, too, at some point because Sherman's gone.
Yeah.
And people don't know where he's going to land. So
yeah, it's everybody needs a cornerback. Just
speaking of cornerbacks, though, I did want to get to this. We obviously have local talent getting ready to go into the NFL draft.
Yeah.
And I have been reading a lot of reports that say Caleb Farley is more than likely a surefire top 10 pick, just depending on team needs in the top 10. Latest could possibly be Dallas at 10.
Now Dallas has changed. I've
seen a lot of people say it'll either be Patrick Surtain, but that's because I see people say Caleb Farley wouldn't be available. He might be taken at 9.
Surtain's a guy from Alabama.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something.
I don't think you're going to be hurt with either one of them guys.
I read somewhere somebody said that Caleb Farley has all the makings to be a pure number 1 corner, and I think I think they're 100% correct. How many times do we get to say? First of all, that there's a local kid getting drafted. Doesn't happen. Doesn't happen a lot. He did, yes, he did, but he should be back. 2, they're a top 10 pick. That's very rare. And 3, they turn out to be a star at their position. I remember when I first started doing sports broadcasting, I was helping a radio station in Newton, and obviously we covered mostly just Catawba County games and South Fork. And I graduated a few years earlier than Caleb did. So I got to go back, and when I covered a Maiden game, first game I covered for Maiden, they were playing, I think it was Wes Caldwell, and that was Titus Young was with them. And when I watched Caleb Farley, he was obviously playing quarterback at the time. He was the fastest kid on the field.
Oh, yeah.
By a long shot. And Titus, for Wes Caldwell, was a dang good athlete, too. So it was a quarterback matchup between the two. But, my God, when you talk about there's next-level speed, I saw that in Caleb Farley. And so that's one thing, really, when you look at just anybody in a position, you can't teach speed. You can train speed, but you either got it or you don't.
Yeah, Kevin has just said that he believes Farley is dropping because of back surgery.
Probably.
Yeah, that's the reason Dallas has changed their plans.
You know,
who they're going to pick.
Yeah. But here's the thing. If a team needs a cornerback and don't take him in the top 10, I think it's a mistake. And I'm not just, local kid. I'm not just trying to hype him up. He's got the size. He's got the speed. And obviously working with NFL DB coaches, hopefully he'll have the hands to where I think we could be talking about probably one of the best lockdown cornerbacks in the NFL. A lot of people,
when you talk about a back surgery, some people think that's prolonged. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's where the big thing comes in, because once you've had back problems, most of the time it doesn't go away. It'll hurt you again halfway through the season. Then with what he's got to do.
Tony Romo, for example.
That's what I'm saying. It does not go away. It ends up hurting.
And one of the things I'm just trying to get at is, I'm sitting here talking about what should Atlanta do at 4?
I think Atlanta stays where they're at, and they pick somebody, one of the best athletes.
Oh, I'm not saying they need to trade out. I'm saying at 4, if you wanted to, I would take Farley or Surtain.
Possibly.
I would, because your defense is horrendous for Atlanta. You saw that last year, and you had a defensive-minded coach. Now you have an offensive-minded coach, and sure, it might be splashy to go out and get an offensive player, but if you look at reasons why they lost last year, it's because they couldn't stop anybody. It didn't help they couldn't finish games, and sometimes there'd be a pick thrown every now and then, but you just couldn't finish games, and that was the real problem. So I think that would be really nice to see him probably, we talk about top 10. Wouldn't it be crazy if he was able to go top 5? Of course, we've still got Chaz and Sage and quite other players that are going to go into the draft as well. But it's just one of those things where we're in rare air right now for local talent.
And it makes us feel good because these guys we have seen.
Yes.
In our own backyard.
Yeah.
So.
It's literally. He went to my rival high school.
Yeah.
Crazy. Yeah. So, I mean, good luck to all of them as it gets closer and closer to draft day. We're really proud of you boys. But what we're going to do right now is we're going to take one of our last breaks, and when we come back, we're going to go over the tournament. We'll be back after these messages. KDCBroadcasting.com.
Okay, class, listen up. Do not buy a car without a warranty. Just don't do it. At Friendship Nissan and Friendship Jeep Dodge Ram in Forest City, we have lifetime warranty on new and used cars. That's right, lifetime warranty on new and used cars. Unlimited time, unlimited miles. And through the end of this month, we're offering up to $4,000 over Kelley Blue Book value on your trade. So one more time, Friendship Nissan and Friendship Jeep Dodge Ram has lifetime warranty on new and used cars, and you'll find us in Forest City.
Spending too much time at home with nothing to do? Then go shopping. That's right, go shopping at whatsupshopper.com. Local area businesses are featuring their products and services on whatsupshopper.com. You can also play our contest, listen to the swap shop, and more. Make it one of your favorites. There are also valuable coupons from area businesses. And as they say, let your fingers do the walking and shop online at whatsupshopper.com. You'll love it. It's time to sign and drive. That's right, sign and drive at the all-new Classic Volkswagen of Gastonia. For a limited time, pay no money down. Plus, Classic Volkswagen of Gastonia will make your first payment. Come in now for all the details. See the classic difference with Classic Volkswagen in Gastonia. You'll find a friendly, knowledgeable staff ready to serve you. Just sign and drive at Classic Volkswagen of Gastonia. Now located at 4417 Wilkinson Boulevard. Online at classicvwgastonia.com. Your local train comfort specialist, Roland Black Heating and Cooling, has been serving Gaston County with quality-built train heating and air conditioning systems for over 45 years. Hurry and call today to check out the great deals on train systems offered by Roland Black Heating and Cooling. Whether it's commercial or residential, Train is there for you. Ask about your new, super efficient Train XV20i today. Call Roland Black for all the details, 704-865-1375, or go online at rolandblack.com and request an appointment. Again, call 704-865-1375. Roland Black Heating and Cooling, 501 East Franklin Boulevard in Gastonia. Remember, it's hard to stop a train.
How much fun is Coyote Tractor's new line of zero-turn mowers? Well, how many acres you got? With all the same quality you've come to expect from Coyote Tractors, our 12 model zero-turn mower line has something for everyone. Ergonomic seating and controls, keyless start with onboard diagnostics, and fabricated reinforced steel decks of 48, 54, or 60-inch width. Coyote, we dig dirt.
Your Coyote dealer is Weston Sales, Highway 18 North, 27 West intersection in Vail.
We're proud to be working with our local businesses for the greatest comeback of all time.
Come together.
Shop local on whatsupshopper.com, Carolina Country, and The Boss.
And we're back, Hunter, and he's on the hunt.
And we are back with Sports Talk here. Tom, why don't you give a shout out really quick to some of our friends?
Oh, friends at Friendship Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram, 190 Oak Street Extension in Forest City, North Carolina. Call them at 828-919-3001. Or Friendship Nissan, 156 Oak Street Extension in Forest City, North Carolina, 828-245-1661. Take your tax rebate to Friendship. Drive home in a new car.
And with that, we just got finished with some NFL talk. We're now going to move over to the big dance. That's right. It continues
what I heard,
today.
What I saw though, I
Yeah.
was reading about Oral Roberts, and they put out I'm still a little upset about that. But then they made it Sweet 16, only the second 15 seed to do that. Then the cancel culture gets cranked up, saying we need to kick Oral Roberts out of the tournament. I was like, you guys have lost your
People
mind.
are so dumb.
They lost their mind.
People are dumb, Tom. That's just how it is. They're dumb.
We're gonna kick Oral Roberts out of the tournament.
Oral Roberts. Who do they play today?
They beat Ohio State to beat Florida.
Play Arkansas
today.
Hey,
You know
that's
what?
a possibility.
Listen, I'm not going to put anything past them because I like this little Cinderella run right now.
They got that one really good player.
Yes.
They got that one
Yeah.
really
God,
good
I wish I could remember his name. His last name is spelled weird. Well, it's not that it's spelled weird. It's just it's pronounced differently than how it's
He's
how
just
it's
the
spelled.
leading scorer in the NCAA.
Yeah, I think he's averaging. I think he's averaging what 25 points a game.
That guy? Who is it?
25 points a game. He had 29, almost 30 against Ohio State. I am enjoying watching this Cinderella run. So I would love it if they beat Arkansas.
There's opportunity. You take them and they beat Arkansas. Loyola Chicago could beat Oregon State.
Oregon State right now is one of those teams. Well, I want to say this. For people, obviously, that live out here on the East Coast, I was not expecting there to be like 6 Pac-12 teams that just made it this far. But we don't see them.
Bill
It's
Walton
weird.
is loving it.
It's just weird. I mean, it's just tournament basketball. You have one bad game.
That's it. I know. It's not series based. It's
Tournament
one and done.
basketball is
It's you got to show up. But to point out to what Terry said on Oregon State could get beat by Loyola. Both of those teams are peaking at the right time. Loyola is on a run. Oregon State went on a huge run to win their tournament, the Pac-12 tournament, and now the run that they're making on in the NCAA. Do you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of the last time UConn came in. UConn came in as an 8 seed.
And won it, yeah.
They won the Big East, and that's what got them in, and they went on the run to win the national championship. That was Kemba Walker's UConn. That's the last time I've seen somebody like this carry that much momentum. I was high on Georgetown because of that. The reason they got in is they went on the run in their tournament. Now, obviously, that didn't pan out. Georgetown got absolutely handled in the first round, but I could see Oregon State making a Final Four. Just depends on how everything else works out in their bracket and who they would have to go through. I think the best...
Houston.
Yeah, I think Houston could get beat. And it's only because, and it's not an ACC bias, people are not ready for that 2-3.
That's exactly
they
right.
Don't.
How
they
play.
all it takes is one game.
And I watched Syracuse, and I watched that game, Terry. That who'd they beat in the second round? Maryland,
West Virginia.
West Virginia. That West Virginia game.
West Virginia didn't know what to do.
That 2-3 zone. I was like, that's all he's ever played.
It is.
You know what it's going to be.
But you know what it's going to be, but it's totally different. It's totally different than when they play it. Because no one, think about it. Syracuse is really the only team that lives and dies with that kind of defense.
I've
That's
never
a 2-3.
seen him play man-to-man.
Never.
I've never seen him
And
play.
it also helps that his son is absolutely balling.
He's good.
His buddy is
Three-pointers,
playing out of his mind.
The only problem I see them having a hard time with is when West Virginia went to the full court press, they didn't know how to beat it.
It did. And West Virginia got back in it.
Yes.
It was
Well, I would
close
have never counted out Huggins' West Virginia team. He's always got good basketball teams, but that didn't surprise me. Like, it surprised me that Syracuse even got this far, but when you sit there and you look at it and you watch them play, you realize why. It's because that 2-3, nobody during the season really sees it. And so when they get there and all you have to do is win one game, okay.
And they could shoot threes.
They can shoot the three. To me, today's best game, I think, is going to be USC Oregon.
Michigan, Florida State.
Wait, do they play today or do they play tomorrow? They play tomorrow.
I know, tomorrow.
Okay. Does USC Oregon, though, do they play today? Is that today's game?
It's so messed up with this year. Are they playing?
Or do they play tomorrow?
Are they playing
tomorrow.
Like one day today,
USC,
one day
Oregon.
tomorrow?
So they play tomorrow?
I think this whole bracket over here plays
today.
Baylor, Villanova, Arkansas, Oral Roberts,
Okay.
Loyola Chicago, Oregon State, and Syracuse, Houston.
Well, Syracuse. Oh, then if you're talking about my best game today will probably be Syracuse, Houston.
When are they playing the? So they're gonna do.
They're doing today and tomorrow.
Today and tomorrow. They'll have the Final Four after.
Yes.
Yeah.
After tomorrow.
Yes.
Okay.
But now, we talk about Loyola Chicago. Think of it. They beat the ACC by 11. They beat the Big Ten by 13. So they haven't had it. I mean, they've been in games, but they've blown them open at the end.
Yeah.
When
I watched that Loyola Chicago team, the defense that they were playing absolutely shook Illinois to their core. Or Illinois' offense multiple times looked so stagnant. I was like, why did I even pick you to win a national championship?
The big kid inside for Loyola wore out.
Yes.
Coburn. He wore him out. He
did.
Wore him
and you wouldn't have
out.
thought he would have. You wouldn't have, and that's no knock on how he looks. I'm just saying the other guy looked supremely more athletic. He was more built, more cut, but he just
wore him out.
He did. He wore him out.
With that little left-handed hook.
Yeah, the tap in from the side that one time.
He just wore him
But
out.
can anybody beat Gonzaga, y'all?
I'm tired.
Been pretty easy.
I'm tired of hearing it.
They destroyed Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Destroyed them.
I think I don't like the fact that it has been that easy.
And I got a feeling they're going to destroy Creighton.
I think they do. I think it's a 15, 20-point blowout.
And then you're going to have USC, Oregon. So you kind of sit here like, who's in the way? It's on kind of everybody else.
Well,
getting
I'll
beat.
tell you what.
Nobody's there for them to
Southern
play.
Cal's got a guy Mobley that's NBA bound. So it might be one of those things where you'll be able to put up a fight just because you got a guy that can play at the next level. Because obviously Gonzaga has that in Jalen Suggs, but I don't know. Predictions for games that play today. We're going to start with the Baylor-Nova game. Who do you think takes the game? And I hate to do this to you, but keep it short.
I sort of got, I know. When I was short earlier, I got criticism.
I know.
But anyway, I want to pick Nova, but I can't. I'm going to go with Baylor.
Baylor. I think they got too many actually. I think they will face Gonzaga for the national championship.
Do we get an upset, Oral Roberts over Arkansas?
I don't know. I kind of feeling it. Kind of feeling it.
I'm just gonna take a heart pick. I'm gonna take Oral Roberts. I'm enjoying this.
I'm going with Oral Roberts too.
I'm gonna take Oral Roberts.
There you go. Loyola Chicago playing Oregon State.
I'm taking Loyola Chicago. I think the defense and how they run their offense will be too much for
Sister
Oregon.
Jean.
I think Sister Jean puts a hex on the other team.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going with Loyola Chicago.
Okay, and then what's that last game?
Syracuse
and Houston. That's right. We'll just do today's
Syracuse.
Games.
First time Houston's had to face this Syracuse squad with zone. I don't think they can handle it.
I think Syracuse luck runs out today. Give me the Cougars.
I would take Houston as well, but it wouldn't surprise me if Syracuse wins. I'm going to take Houston. But with that, Terry, obviously with your pick, does that mean Syracuse has the opportunity to Final Four?
Yeah. The reason being, I think that zone at Syracuse, because who's going to be up next? Loyola Chicago against Oregon State. Loyola will have a guy that can play the middle. They can hit that little 10, 12-foot jumper.
Yeah.
And that destroys Syracuse if you've got a guy that consistently hits that shot.
Yeah.
But I think Syracuse has an opportunity, and I'm going to say 75% of making the Final Four.
And obviously there's going to be games tomorrow, but we'll just let those play out for tomorrow.
I just want to put one more thing in before we go. My bracketology says Big Ten had 9, now they're down to 1. And ACC had 7, and they still got 2.
He's been on this all week.
I had to let him get it in, Tom. Had to let him get it in. With that, Tom, why don't you go ahead and give our friends one last shout-out as we get out of here this morning.
Friendship, Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, Ram, and Nissan in Forest City. Go see them for a new ride today.
Yetis baseball coming up today. Lunchtime. Be sure to tune into that here. It's going to be on KTC Broadcasting YouTube channel. And we will see you guys next Saturday here for more Saturday Morning Sports Talk on KTCBroadcasting.com.
I am the seed of a chosen breed. You don't see too many like me. 'Cause I am.